right. If you're watching this show, chances are you either have blood on your hands, have recently murdered someone, or both. Let's go live to the media witch trials. Hey, I wonder who learned a new word?
These same ghoulish death cult figures falling into a death cult. That's death cult material. Get part of this death cult. Death cults. Death cult. This death cult praised teachings of a growing death cult.
I guess when you've got the IQ of a hammer, everything starts to look like a nail. Or in her case, a thumb. Jay, I wonder if we should start renaming diseases after people.
Instead of the Delta variant, why not call it the DeSantis variant?
And in Florida, we have a governor more interested in playing politics than saving lives. The DeSantis variant.
Ooh, clever. Great minds think alike. Hey, I got one. How about the Mika virus? Thanks to the wonders of modern technology, it's actually more transmissible than COVID, traveling through TV airwaves and infects your brain with really stupid thoughts. Similar to Zika, and just as deadly if you ingest enough of it. It's a trend. Today you can actually call someone a mass murderer for not agreeing with you, and no one bats an eye. But use the wrong pronoun, and they will lose what's left of their PC-saturated brain. Why not? Especially if you delight in killing children.
Sickening and killing your political supporters seems to me the stupidest and most short-sighted political strategy I've ever heard of. Yet that's what DeSantis is doing. He's insisting that pediatric wards filled with COVID patients. It is outrageous, to say the least, and frankly, it's criminal.
What is the strategy behind killing children in your own state and letting children die of COVID?
Great question. What is the strategy of killing children? Maybe you should ask Planned Parenthood, lady. So who is killing children? Who's letting children die? Wouldn't it be great if we actually demanded proof from these idiots? What we're seeing now among the weakest minds is an adolescent delight in demonization. It feels good to call someone a murderer. That's why I keep trying to get Andrew Cuomo on the show. It elevates you as judge and jury, and you get lots of attention as well. You don't even need to bother with fake statistics like the ones they used about Texas and Florida. But if they truly wanted to persuade people to their point of view, why would they constantly berate and mock and censor them? Because name-calling is way easier than making a sound argument based on fact and truths. And a sound argument would take all the fun out of being on TV. Which tells you the essential truth. They don't want to persuade you. They don't care who gets the vax. It's all about that surge of dopamine. Emphasis on dope. Now, you were to return the favor or call them stupid, watch out. I actually did this as an experiment, no joke. After Mika Brzezinski blood-libeled Governor DeSantis, on the 5, I called her a dumb broad. Why would I do that? It seems coarse, even for me, but I did it to reveal how the media would respond to it. As Gomer Pyle used to say, surprise, surprise, surprise. Calling her a dumb broad is worse than her calling people mass murderers. And it's because the media, much like Van Gogh, can only hear one side of things. Too soon? They are never offended by the truly offensive if it's said against someone they disagree with. They can call you a murderer, but don't you call them stupid. Well, whatever you say, stupid. So who really cares about vaccination rates? It turns out that we do. Unlike the jerks at those other networks, we've debated how to persuade the hesitant if it's possible, without accusing them of being Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, or Andrew Cuomo. Of course, there are white folks hesitant about the vaccine, but Mika, Joe, and Acosta want you to think that these groups are just like the neighborhoods they live in, all white, preferably in red hats. But they can't do the same to others outside that stereotype. New York City data shows that only 28% of black New Yorkers ages 18 to 44 are fully vaxxed. That's compared to 48% of Latino residents and 52% of whites in the same age group. That's a hell of a disparity. And you don't hear that on those other shows. Fact is, every individual has reasons for their reluctance. Some of it is misguided fear. Others are based in legit skepticism based on previous lies by so-called medical experts. You know, like This virus didn't leak from a lab. Yeah, paging Dr. Fauci. It's normal and healthy not to trust the government. God knows they've given us plenty of reason to. Just as it is normal and healthy to acknowledge and admire the astonishing progress we've made in fighting disease with vaccines. It's changed the world. Paging Dr. Salk. I am pro-vaccine, but I'm also pro-skepticism. How can that be? That's too nuanced. And you can't get in trouble if we're just trashing Whitey. It's the soft bigotry of low expectations, once again. Those babbling clowns on other networks don't believe minorities can handle criticism, or math, or getting an ID. So they focus their bile on some amorphous white mass of unvaxxed rednecks. I'm subtly craving Cracker Barrel. Meanwhile, it's expected another wave of COVID will hit Black New Yorkers pretty hard, which is a perfect setup for the more evidence this country is racist segments on cable news. I'd say Mika and her death cult have blood on her hands, but then she might sue me for plagiarism. Only Joe Biden can get away with that.